Good morning, everybody. The show is back. The show is called TBR Solutions Sports Forum. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solutions. Every Tuesday, every Saturday morning, we do a show. And then today is no exception. All right. I know that I was supposed to be joined by Tsepang, Tabiso, Tabiki. I don't know what happened. But Sheikh's, I think he's on his way to Devon. Yeah, we spoke yesterday, and then he told me that he'll be going to Devon on a business trip. So that is why at the end of the day I don't have Sheikh's this morning. Now, remember I said for some few shows we'll be dedicating some few minutes talking about Kaizer Chiefs and then because they are celebrating their 53rd birthday. So we'll be looking at that and also look at other local news and international news. We know that on the 7th of January, that's when Kaizer Chiefs was formed. If you don't know how do they look like during that time, um, I'll show you one of the old pictures of Kaizer Chiefs. As you can see there, I'm sure you can see the team here. Mr. Mtaum is here. You can see that there's Mr. Mtaum. And then there's Pro Kumalo, that is Doc Kumalo's father. And then there's the Honorable Judge Rata Mokhatleng. He was also one of the former founders of Kaizer Chiefs. So, yeah, that is the situation at Kaizer Chiefs. It was formed on the 7th, as I've already indicated, of January in 1970. Apparently, according to the information that I've picked up, Mr. Kaiser Mtaung mooted the idea that let them form a team, and then Elkin Pro Kumalo and Ariel Hongwane, who were themselves Pirates players. Remember that Mr. Mtaung was playing for Pirates, he was staff for Pirates, and then the two considered themselves as free agents. So, and then they decided that probably there's no problem in them joining this a new team that is being mooted or that is being formed. Fortunately enough, with Mr. Mtaung's investment and also some other business people who supported him, and then the team did well in the 70s. And then in their first year, they played well, and then they became a force to be reckoned with in 1974, and then they win their first league title in 1974. And in that 1974, Mr. Mutaung scored about 13 goals, despite the fact that he was in America the larger part of the season. And then, in addition of 1974 league title, Kaizer Chiefs won numerous titles in the early 70s, including the league title in 1977 and a unified multiracial league title in 1979, and then the BP Top 8 in 1973, 1974, 1976. And they also won the Champion of Champions in 1972, 1974, 1976. And then they went on to win the Life Challenge Cup in 1971 and 1972. Now, remember, people will always follow the winner. Fans flocked from all corners, and then being entertained by fantastic players like Joseph Banks Shudi, who's still there in the Kaizer Chiefs camp, and people like Ryder Mufokeng, Petros Tenten Zimande, Patrick Esintwele, Vos Computer Lamola. I saw when they went at Mr. Down's place where it was a clubhouse. They Computer Lamola was there. Pele Blashke, all right, a Namibian. By that time, it was called Southwest Africa. Michael Biza Dlamini, and then Abednego Shagangobo. And then all these guys were very instrumental to make Kaizer Chiefs a formidable team during the formative years. And then as time goes on, and then they were then, known as Amakosi, which means the kings, or sometimes they would be called the Glamour Boys, the Perfeni Glamour Boys. That's Kaizer Chiefs, all right? These are the 70's. And then we know at some point, because the tire squad, they would be very stylish in their dress, and then dressing very, very well, and then they were known as hippies. And at some point there was a slogan that came that called love and peace. So now, after wrapping his successful career in the United States, Mr. McDowell returned home permanently in 1975 to continue playing for and running the club that he had helped establish 5 years earlier. However, he hung up his boots only a year later to concentrate fully on guiding Chiefs on their path to become the dominant force in South African football that it is today. Mutau's decision to focus solely on administration of the club in 1976 was swayed by the tragic death that year in 1976, when a very colorful character, Ewit the Leap Nene, passed on. The Chiefs' popular team manager, who had recruited many players at Kaizer Chiefs, especially from Springs, people like Teenage Laza and so on. He was murdered for the sake of, because people there didn't want, that's the rumor, they didn't want Teenage to leave for Kaizer Chiefs because they love him so much. So we don't know what happened there. And then, so in their absence, Nene, in absence of Nene, Mr. Mtaung decided to take the responsibility of ensuring that he devote his time to administration. And then in 1978, the first multiracial league kicked off in 1978, with Kaizer Chiefs achieving a respectable fourth position at the end of the season as the highest placed traditional black side behind originally white club Lusitano, Wits University, Arcadia Shepherds. 1 year on, though, Amakosi were champion, holding off strong competition from one year on, though, were champion holding off strong competition from Highlands Park and Arcadia Shepherds. By the time a number of white players had joined Chiefs, the first of which was Lucky Stalliano, a defensive midfielder, others would soon follow, including goalkeeper Peter Balak, Jimmy Brixton and Tawa, Jube, Frank Jingles Pereira. The fans used to call him Mamagas Bongile because it was a popular song by then by the Soul Brothers. Amakos were now South Africa's most popular team. The magic of Kaizer Chiefs derives directly from projecting the proud and dignified image that was so central to Mutaun's vision because it's extended beyond football. The club was formed in the height of expressive apartheid legislative in South Africa. It always presented itself as self-assured, modern, glamorous institution. Its inspirational vision fitted within the mood of the times. So, with the success, Chiefs provided a rare outlet of joy and happiness in turbulent times. One of the highlights of the 1970s was Chiefs became the first black side to beat a traditionally white in the Chevron Championship or at Rand Stadium against Cape Town Hellenic. Hellenic had won the first leg 4-0. Hellenic manager Joe Franklin had once boasted that a black team would never beat a good white one. Kaizer Chiefs, however, proved Franklin wrong when they beat his side 2-1 in the second leg. While Chiefs were trailblazers on the pitch, they broke barriers of it too. From the early 70s, Kaizer Chiefs became the first so-called team to camp in a hotel before a match, alternating at such swanky hotels as their Devonshire Crest Johannesburg and then a hotel around Johannesburg. Amakhosi had grown in only 10 years' time to become the best and most supported club in South Africa. Those were the 70s of Kaizer Chiefs. So you can see that the team comes a long way, and then they've done a lot of things. Yeah, so those are some of the good news about Kaizer Chiefs. As you can see, this picture, a very nice one. You see Mr. Mutaun there and some of the players. Remember this guy, Waga Waga Likwebe. And then there were quite a lot old guys here. I think this one is Shaka Ngobo and Patrick Asinto and Malombo Lichaba. And then those were the eras of Kaizer Chiefs. Now, let's look at the 5 upcoming games of Kaizer Chiefs. We know that they've already played Skukune, they've lost 1-0, and then they'll be playing Amazulu at 1930. They'll play Sundowns at, those are the upcoming game. At 8 o'clock, they'll also play Royal AM. Those are 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. The upcoming games, they're going to play Amazon, they're going to play Sundown, they're going to play Royal AM, and then they're going to play TX Galaxy. So those are the news as far as Kaizer Chiefs is concerned. Yeah, and then yeah, we are enjoying our football, and then yeah, we know that tomorrow, I'm sure you know that. No, on Thursday there will be what you call a Nedbank Cup competition. So I mean, there will be a draw on Thursday for Nedbank. So so we will see what's gonna happen, who's gonna draw who, and then I'm gonna share something with you quickly pertaining to that, so that you know, Saddam Make, Saddam, volunteered to work with us to hear Saddam that I would love to show you. And then you see he's dressing in a colorful NetBank clothing. So yeah, NetBank is on its way. So we'll be knowing who's gonna play who very soon. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you've seen what is happening. I'm seeing on social media people are becoming a little bit unfair to some girl Zwane. There's too much pressure. People are criticizing the young man. I don't think this is fair. The boy is still very young. The boy still need to be given an opportunity, and he's got a bright future. And then I at some point I once said, I don't know whether it's because of pressure. Sometimes Kaizer Chief fans are their own enemies. They are the ones who put pressure on their players, their coaching staff, technical staff. So that, for me, it's creating a problem for themselves. Because now, if you criticize a young man like Samgelo, and then how do you hope him to behave uh, in the next games? Because he will be knowing very well that supporters are not happy. Yeah, so sometimes supporters need to take care of that and think about that. And I'm sure, yes, of course, Pirates lost, but if you were looking at that game, Pirates was playing well. They were not bad at all. And then, in fact, sometimes you ask yourself, how did they lose that game? Because they were dominating. But it's football. Football is like that. It's a game whereby you should win by scoring goals. If you don't score goals, of course, you're definitely not going to make it. So I think that Chiefs fans, they need to be somehow considerate and try to to be fair enough, and then don't put too much pressure on their teams, you know. So for me, I would suggest that if really there's something to be considered, uh, support your teams. Yes, of course, it's not nice to lose. Now, let me give you the news of the most supported teams in Africa. And then we need to be very proud as South Africans because according to these statistics, we have three teams in that group. That shows that our football is followed. Al Ahly, they are number one team in Africa with 47.6 million followers, followed by Zamalek with 15.9 followers, 15.9 million. Raja Casablanca with 9.9 million followers. Simba SC with 7.9 million followers. Kaizer Chiefs, at number 5, 7.6 million followers. Orlando Pirates at number 6 with 5.5 million followers. Wydad at Casablanca with 4.1 million followers. And then Pyramids, 4.4 million followers. Esperance, with 3.4 million followers. Mamelodi Sundowns with 3.1 million followers. So we need to be very proud that our teams are doing well. And I must say, you know what? I'm very proud of Patrice Motsepe. He came in and then he wanted to transform Mamelodi Sundowns. You can see, I always say to people who watch Mamelodi Sundowns, if you look Mamelodi Sundowns, the way they position themselves in terms of branding, in terms of trying to woo support, they are going to be forced to be reckoned with. And as I say, we are lucky we have about 3 teams in that group. And I must say, while I'm still chatting with you, we know that things are happening in England. We hear that Joe Felix might join Chelsea on a loan, um, and which is good for Atletico because Atletico wanted a lot of money. So now other teams were not willing, to give that lot of money. So as a result, Chelsea's prepared, I think, Atletico Madrid, they wanted 15 million euros, 15 million euros for 6 months. And then not only that, they also wanted whoever takes Joe Felix must ensure that he pays his salary and then he pays the taxes. So now, on the basis of that, it means they've done well as a as a they've done well as a team. So apparently, Arsenal wanted them. Not only Arsenal, Man United wanted Joe Felix, but they were not prepared to pay that money. But Chelsea are willing to pay. So very soon, the boy might join Chelsea, and then because they say the deal is very close, it's very close. So Chelsea, quite a lot of things are happening around Chelsea. We know that the coach was very, very angry with the media people. And then, so he expressed his displeasure, the way they treated him, all right? But now let's look at it. It's January, and then according to ESPN, of which it's a fact, they are already out on the FA Cup. They are out of Carabao Cup. They are 10th in the Premier League. So what's your take about Chelsea? Do you really think Chelsea won't do well? But as I said, Pep Guardiola has been saying, I always follow what Pep says. And then I've never seen Pep put his foot down. He told us about Arteta, and we know that Arteta, as we speak, he's one of the greatest coaches now. He's doing well. He's doing well because he hasn't won any title. But you can see what's happening at Arsenal. Not only that, we also know that he said, Pep Guardiola, this guy needs some time every coach needs some time. He said he was the lucky one, meaning Pep. He was the lucky one who never needed any break for 2 years because he had Messi in that team. So it was not a problem for him. Now let's let's check other news, other exciting news. And then I want to check with you that Scoloni, the Argentinian players, has won the men's world best international coach for 2022 by IFFHS. So yeah, these are good news. And but he did well, Scoloni. Moreover, remember he was unknown. We didn't know who's this guy. Remember, Argentina have changed coaches. At some point, there was Maradona, the hero, but unfortunately, even Maradona could not bring them the glory. But ever since Scoloni came in, they have flourished. So, yeah, those are the great news for the Argentinians. Now, let me move on quickly and check on the Messi Special so that today we don't talk a lot and move on quickly. I don't know whether I shared this one of Xavi, Gavi. Let's see. I'll check now. Um, Gavi, remember, he plays for Barcelona. He's a future star in making. And then, so I don't know whether did I share this. This is what he said about Lionel Messi. And then, of which I don't know whether you agree or disagree, but I personally agree. This is what Gavi says. Um, Gavi says, and there's no one who will reach Lionel Messi's accolades. He said this man has won Ballon d'Or, has won Golden Boot, has FIFA the best player, IFFHS best player, best performance, Copa America Golden Ball, FIFA World Cup Golden Ball, UEFA Football of the Year, League Best Sportsman, Champions League, Copa America World Cup, and then what is this treble? And the other one is HE. I don't know what is this. So that's Xavi, that's Gavi. And then, like I said at some point, that Ballon d'Or number 8 is Lodi. Now, I want to compare him with. I want to show what he has, and then compare him with Cristiano Ronaldo because there will always be that argument being brought that and then Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, this. Now let's check. If you compare the two, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi in the World Cup, just at the World Cup, the match played, Ronaldo has scored 22, has played 22 matches. Messi has played 26 matches, and then at number 2, Ronaldo reached the semi-final in 2026, and then in 2022, the further stages that they reached. Ronaldo reached semi-final in 2006. Messi has been the champion in 2022. And then the matches against World Cup winners. Ronaldo has played 8, and then Messi has played about 4. Now, let's see the other news that I would like to share in comparison of the two. Now, let me see. I'll show you something now. Okay. Yeah, so as I say, the Ballon d'Or number 8 is loading, and then I know a lot of people are, somehow having their own issues. I do this deliberately because I know all the time when this times comes, There will always be arguments, who's done, who's doing what, and all that. Now, let's continue to compare Ronaldo and Messi. World Cup goals. Ronaldo scored 8, Messi scored 13. Goals against World Cup winners. Ronaldo scored 3 in 8 matches. Messi has scored 2 in 4 matches. And then hat trick. All right. Ronaldo has scored 1 hat trick. Messi has scored 1 hat trick. So they tie there. And then again, let's go to assists. 7 assists. Number 7 in terms of assists. Ronaldo has done 2 assists. Messi has done 8 assists. These are in World Cup tournaments. And many of the matches awards in World Cup tournaments, Ronaldo has done 7 awards. Messi has done 11. But I mean, 7 is not bad, which means, as I always say, Ronaldo is not a bad player. He's a good player. But unfortunately, he competes with somebody who's just above the rest. And then the last World Cup appearance, Ronaldo appeared 1 and scored 1 goal, and then 1 man of the match. Messi appeared 7 times, and then he scored 7 goals and 3 assists, and then became man of the match 5 times. So yeah, as I always say, numbers don't lie. So whichever way people want to see it, I always argue and say, numbers will tell us. Numbers will tell us who's the best. So for me, Lionel Messi is still on top. Now let's go to number 10. World Cup Dream Team. Ronaldo was selected once in 2018, Messi twice in 2014 and 2022. In terms of titles, Ronaldo has none out of 11 titles. No, that's number 11 titles. Ronaldo has none, Messi has 1. In terms of the player of tournament, the golden ball, Messi has 2, Ronaldo has none. Messi's 2014 and 2022. So those are some of the things that I always argue and say, Lionel Messi, he is the best. So yeah, and then yeah, we know that people have their own issues as far as that is concerned. Now, so far, let's check again. So far, this is what um, now I'm trying to share. Okay. So far, I don't know whether you are able to see this. I hope so. Um, so far, Messi is the highest when it comes to the Golden Boot in football history. And Messi is the highest when it comes to FIFA best in football history. Messi is the highest Golden Ball player when it comes to world football in football history. He's the highest, he's the best player, he's the leading player in football history when it comes to Ballon d'Or. Then he's the highest playmaker award in the history of football. So this man is a total footballer. So now when people don't understand who's the real GOAT, so those are the facts that you have. Lionel Messi will remain the best player in the world, and then until he plays. So I've heard some of the people saying that some of the players said, as long as Messi plays, I think they asked Van Dijk, said, they said in 2025 who's going to win the Ballon d'Or, said as long as Messi plays, Messi will win that one. Now, here is the show for you. Thank you very much for being supportive all the way up to this point in time. We really appreciate your support. I thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from a TBR Solution. TBR Solution is a financial company that helps people to be financially savvy. I'm sure these days you are aware that prices are very up in terms of petrol, in terms of goods and services. Prices are very, very high. Now, these days, we are on a campaign to help those members of GPF or government employees, especially if you are 55 years old or above and you are contemplating to resign or go on pension in 3 months' time. Give us a call or drop us a WhatsApp, then we'll call you back so that we help you to get your money expeditiously, as compared to sometimes people get their money after a long time. We will then transfer your money from GPF to Allen Gray, whom we have a relationship with. And the good news is, once the money has been transferred, you will choose how much you want to earn. If you happen to pass on, your spouse will also get the same amount. Then if it happens that both of you passes on, you would have appointed or selected beneficiaries. It could either be your children or anyone else. And there's nothing like age limit that they must be 22 or below. Even if they're above 22, they'll be able to get the inheritance from you. So that's how flexible it is. And then I know that sometimes people they worry about medical aid and all that. We also have with other partners who assist you to get a medical aid. So if you want to learn more and get more information pertaining to that, just drop us a WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.